Hey, I'm Purport, and for the past 5 years, I've been mastering the art of credit and travel hacking. And in that time, I've helped over 5,000 people repair and rebuild their credit, as well as teach them how to maximize rewards to travel first class and stay in five-star hotels for free. So in front of me, I've got Haider. He's been with us for a while now, and we've been able to get him amazing results. So we'll go through all of that in a minute. But Haider, do you want to just introduce yourself for now and tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. So I'm essentially a Subway franchise owner and I work in the corporate space as an advisor, servicing high net worth and ultra high net worth clients. Now, the way I first got introduced to Credit Club was through Instagram, through social media. And I actually reached out to someone I'm not sure if they work for you now, but her name's Alexa. I had a really great conversation with her. Like I mentioned to you earlier, I was in multiple headspaces, whether if this was right for me or if all of this is legit. Like, how can you essentially book flights and hotels for dirt cheap? Now, the more you obviously promoted your service on social media, the more it kept piquing my interest. And I thought, okay, let me take the risk. So in July of last year, I decided to join Credit Club. And from July to now, so just over a year now, I've garnered about £165,000 increase in my credit limit, including my personal and my business credit limit with Amex. I've also gained 225,000 Amex points, which means that I can now use these points to book hotels for cheap, book flights for cheap. I've got a team there that you've added in the group chat where if I have any credit related questions, I get instant replies and they really help me out. There's been times where I've even messaged a couple of people in the group chat where I've said, okay, look, I'm thinking of booking this certain holiday. Is there any recommendations on how I can maximize my points efficiently? And they would help out. But overall, I think what I'd like to say to everyone is like the tools that you've given and the videos that you provided in the school community are just so incredibly helpful. I've genuinely learned a lot from them to a point where I'm doing things on a daily basis to make sure I'm maximizing my efficiency with my spending so that I'm getting points for every time I'm tapping my card. And then those points, obviously, I can use for traveling and then for booking hotels at much lower rates.
No, 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 I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, you've gone over so much there in that segment. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down for the viewers as well so they can understand, obviously, what you've been able to do. So, in the time, you said we've got you 165,000 credit limit, which is absolutely crazy. Could you believe that you have a £165,000 credit limit now? And then also, you said you've generated over 200,000 points. And at the beginning, you were saying you were like, how is it possible to book flights and hotels? But now you're a living example of it. You have over 200,000 points. You can book yourself a flight anywhere in the world, not just in business class, but in first class with that 200,000 points, which is lovely. But yeah, the whole process of us helping you get that limit, getting those amount of points. How was that process? How was your time in that year or year and a half that you've been with us that you've been able to obviously accumulate those points and that limit? Was it easy? You talked about the one-to-one group chat. Were the guys useful? Were they able to answer all the questions you have? Were we always there for you? How was that whole process and the group chat itself and you being able to get that limit and the points? And have you got anywhere planned to use those 200,000 points?
So I've actually found it great. I found everything quite easy to digest. The videos were so easy to understand. The sorts of tips and tricks you gave on how you can utilize your points to book hotels at cheaper rates, even other things that you can do to like book car rentals and so on. All of that was so easy for me to understand. And I think that constant support that you give through having credit consultants available in a group chat with you is just so incredibly helpful for myself because I had questions around like, okay, how could I potentially increase my credit limit? Or, you know what, how can I reduce the annual fees I pay Amex every single year? And tips like that I got from the consultants there. Overall, I found it helpful. And I have used some of my points from time to time. I've traveled to multiple different countries over the past year. I've been to Dubai, Qatar, um, Egypt, Italy, France, and so on. And all of that is because of the points I've gained, and then I can just use that to then get flights on the cheap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
No,
for me, it's been helpful. Yeah.
No, no, that's amazing. And the other thing I was going to tell you is obviously you've watched all the videos in Credit Club 2.0 and the material. How easy was it to digest and go through? And was there stuff in there that kind of you were like, holy crap, this is amazing. I didn't know this was possible. Because you said you're a financial advisor. Did you learn stuff that you don't know on your financial side of the world? Because we live in two different sides of the world. You're on the financial side of things, and we're more on the credit hacking and trying to get as much as we can out of the financial world. So how was that with the knowledge that you learned from the videos? And obviously you run your franchises, you're a busy guy. Was it easy to go through, and did it take a lot of your time, or was it not as time consuming?
It wasn't time consuming at all. And I think the way you've structured the videos and the way you explain certain concepts and certain things in your videos are very easy for a lot of people to understand because you use a lot of like visual presentation by using the board, walking through a visual process to the viewers watching. And for people like myself, it just makes the things that you teach us quite easy to understand. Now, without obviously exposing too much, like I found a lot of things like different credit hacks that I learned to be quite efficient that blew my mind entirely. Now, as an advisor, obviously I advise people on how they can maximize their investments. But for me, where I think, okay, I'm quite financially savvy, the the videos that you've uploaded and obviously the things that you're teaching the people within the community, I have found them so efficient because you're showing people how they can essentially maximize their spending, how they can reward themselves with points that then they can use in different areas to benefit them. So living a better lifestyle, because again, rather than them having to spend £2,000 on a holiday, they'll probably spend half of that or even 25% of that amount just because of few things that they could be doing, which obviously your video shows.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's amazing. I really appreciate that. I'm happy you've actually been able to learn stuff because that's the whole point of all of this. And then one other thing I was going to say, because I don't want to take too much of your time, is would you recommend this to someone else? And what would you say to someone who's in two minds of joining? Because you said it yourself, you wanted to join, you didn't join, and then you came back to us a few months later and you were like, do you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna take a chance. So, what would you say to someone that's kind of in a similar situation to you?
Yeah, I would say definitely worth doing, definitely worth taking the jump. Now, as a business owner, right, the things that you learn here not only help you out in terms of like having a better lifestyle, but also when you increase your credit limit, like for example, I only started with Amex at £3,000 credit limit. I didn't even have a business account, but obviously through you lot, I was able to get all of that and be where I am now. For example, if I have a big inventory cost I need a card for to cover that expense. I've got an Amex card there with over £165,000 ready for me to use. So there's just so many different things that you can like take advantage of. And again, if you want to expand your business, if you want to do something new, again, you've got a massive credit limit there to support you with any venture that you want to take. So it's not only about, oh, you're going to learn how to maximize, different credit hacks, but also you're giving yourself an opportunity where if a new venture comes to your mind or anything, you've got the finances there, the limit there to support you. So if I had met someone similar to myself or anyone actually, I would always encourage them to go through that process with you and actually be part of the Credit Club community. And again, what I found is in the school community, I've actually interacted and networked with a lot of people there. And they've given me a lot of advice and useful tips as well, because again, you're around like-minded people. And yeah, I'd highly encourage everyone to go through the community with you.
No, I appreciate that, bro. And thank you again for taking time out of your day to help us with this and, be a part of Credit Club 2.0. So, again, thank you for taking time out of your day, Haider. If anyone has any questions, please comment it down below. I'm more than happy to answer it. But, yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.